Joy to the world, the Lord is come. Let earth receive her King. Let every heart prepare him room, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing. Oh, joy to the world, he is come. He is come. He rules the world with truth and grace, and makes the nations prove the glories of his righteousness, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love, and wonders of his love. Oh, joy to the world, he's come. Oh, he is
Tommee, it's so good to see you, man. Thanks
Yeah.
for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
Man, these songs are so incredible. And this project, I know has just been a labor of love for you. And apparently it's not just a labor of love recently. This is like a 15-year-old process.
Yes.
Which is like, so yeah, this song, Joy to the World, too.
Joy to the world too.
He has come.
He has come.
But talk about this, man. I didn't realize this until we were just chatting, but like this song has been around for a little bit. At least the start of it has.
Yeah. So it's 2005. So exactly 15 years ago. And I was in college, and one of our assignments in one of my music classes was to rearrange a Christmas song and just reword it. You know what I mean? Reharmonize it. Do something original. And so I made this arrangement of Joy of the World, and I called it Joy of the World 2 at the time. He has come. And then we ended up like doing it in chapel, and we started doing it like every year. And anytime I'd play out, this kind of became one of the Christmas songs that we did. And again, I knew like, man, that I wanted to do something with this song one day. And this song is the one that birthed the idea of doing a whole big Christmas record, kind of reimagining all the songs in a sense, you know what I mean? But this was the first one 15 years ago. And so I've been trying to make this album since then, and I finally, got the chance to do it this year.
Yeah. Well, and we've talked about this, but some of the songs on this record are very true original melodies, original lyrics, and then there's songs where you've taken a complete artistic, approach to these. This is one of those songs where it's like the melody and everything is totally different in the first part of the song, and then as you get toward the end, then it just all of a sudden it explodes into the traditional melody that everybody would remember. But talk about that a little bit, that decision to work on and just write those new pieces and make this really a new worship piece from a really old hymn.
Yeah, I just, I loved the melody and I wanted to do something new with it, but if it stayed just the new melody, it just felt like it didn't go somewhere. You know what I mean? It needed to rise and build and do something. And then I was like, man, like people would love to go into that traditional Joy to the World, like the main melody of that at the very end of it, you know what I mean? And since the song is in 6/8 instead of 4/4, which Joy to the World normally is, we sing Joy to the World in the traditional melody at the end, but it's in 6/8. But you almost don't even notice that.
Yeah, never until you told me that. I never caught it.
Yeah, it just feels natural. But again, I felt like the song just wanted to build and do something in the back half. Maybe maybe I just want every song to do that, and so that's the way my brain thinks. But yeah, and then when we finally recorded it, I almost cut the 2 off the title, "Joy of the World, He Has Come," and it just felt weird to me because for 15 years I've lived with that title, even though it's kind of silly. But I'm like, I just want people to, hey, we're doing Joy of the World 2 today. Like that just sounds, I don't know. I get a laugh out of that.
Yeah. And, we were talking about this is one of the handful of Christmas songs that's really like, it's kind of falls in like, the Handel's Messiah piece where it's like celebration. A lot of Christmas songs are more kind of laid back, more kind of easy, pretty melodies and things like that. This is one of those songs where it's celebration. I mean, the title is saying it's Joy to the World.
This was one of the songs too that was tough for me on the album to figure out what to do with, because most of the album it's beautiful and it can be dramatic and powerful or whatever, and there's big moments, but it's not like happy, like celebratory, and I needed to be careful to approach that territory. And I actually started the track, because I recorded like the track for the first time this year, and I was just figuring out what to do to make it fit the album but not just feel like a left field song, you know what I mean? Yeah. So I started 3 or 4 ideas and just deleted the track, started over. And I feel like I found a middle ground that worked. And then again, in my head, I just knew, this was one of the songs I'd never worked with Clark before. And I just kind of cold messaged him on Instagram. And we,
so how did it go? It's like, hi, I'm Tommee Profitt.
Yeah, we knew about each other, but it was kind of like our introduction, like come over, and he just crushed it. I just heard his voice on this, and I was like, if anyone's going to sing this song, it's got to be him. And the thing that he does vocally is just no one else would have brought the same energy,
Yeah, and the choir, I know you've brought choir in on a lot of these songs. And
yes.
What I loved, even today, is like, you on the recording, you were able to stack the choir just to make it feel so big. But today we had 6 singers here, and it just still felt like, man, this would be amazing church song, just because you don't have to have 30 people, 40 people, 50 people in your choir.
Right.
This translated really, really well into you guys just playing along with a little bit of the tracks and with some singers in the room.
These guys are incredible. Yeah, 6 of them, and it sounds like 20. You know what I mean? We work a lot together on a lot of stuff, and we did 2 full days in my studio, just 8 hours just singing all these Christmas songs. They're troopers, and they sound amazing.
In July.
In July. And my air went out when we were recording, so we were sweating.
Nothing says Christmas like being hot and
July
sweaty.
in Tennessee, I know.
Well, man, walk us through what you're playing. What key are you doing this in today, and what's the recorded key?
This is the recorded key.
Okay.
So it starts in B flat, and it's really just it walks up from there. It goes B flat to C minor, and then B flat over D to F, 6, 4, major 7, and then 5. And then I wanted to keep some familiarity into it. So like when it said, heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature sing, and heaven and nature, like it repeats that in the regular song, right? In the normal song. So I kind of did this other thing where just a different melody, heaven and nature sing. It's a G minor to E flat, C over E, F, D over F sharp, G minor. So it kind of is like this big like walk up. It's like, and that's that, like a lot of Christmas songs, as I kind of dissected a lot of these Christmas songs do that kind of movement, you know what I mean? And then Joy to the World at the end is C minor, B flat over D, F, and then He Has Come, and it does this little piano line that's... And the chords are just B flat is 1, E flat is 4, G minor 6, and then back to E flat 4. And then, I mean, there's so many different parts. The tutorial would be 3 hours long. But basically does 2 verses of that, and then it walks up E flat, F, and then we play a D chord over F sharp, and then we go into Joy of the World, the traditional, you know, melody of Joy to the World, and
Right.
we do that.
Man.
And then there's some little things at the end that are like, you know, like little pushes and things, you know. Clark does like
Matching Clark's vocal.
Yeah, like I'm like, we got to put in some special. I feel like it almost sounds musical in a sense, like a musical of the song Joy of the World. Like you can really accentuate the choir and
Totally.
it's big sounding, you know.
Yeah. Well, man, thanks so much for sharing the song with us. This project is amazing, Tommee.
Thank
and
you.
Congratulations on getting it done this year, man. We're so excited about it.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
To the world, the